Causes of visual pollution. This article will discuss the causes of visual pollution. Visual pollution is a term that we use to describe the various things in our environment that can distract us from what we are trying to see or do. We have been conditioned by society and media to want more and more, which causes us to be distracted by advertising, loud noises, billboards, sounds coming from traffic jams, etc. This article will provide you with some tips on how you can reduce your exposure to these types of distractions. Visual pollution caused by buildings. I can't believe how much more beautiful the world looks with all of these tall buildings. Buildings are a necessary part of our way of life, and I'm sure if they weren't here, people would be taking up every inch too of this city. It's hard not to look at some building that has an interesting design or shape without thinking about it from 20 different angles, trying to figure out what makes it so cool looking, but then you realize, everything is just getting smaller because there are taller structures constantly being built every day. Buildings are often constructed in places with little to no regard for natural features. This can result in a lot of visual pollution from buildings and other man-made structures that block out the sky, trees, or anything else you might enjoy looking at on your walk home. Visual pollution caused by wind farms. The crisscrossed lines of wind turbines slowly trample the beautiful horizon, turning a picturesque scene into an ugly one. Wind farms are becoming more and more abundant across our great country as we move towards renewable energy sources to combat climate change. But they come with their own price, visual pollution that is inflicting landscapes everywhere it goes like some sort of virus or plague on Earth's landmasses, transforming once beautiful scenes into nothing but barren wastelands for miles around them. Wind farms across the world are a vital source of renewable energy. However, there is an unfortunate side effect they create called visual pollution or landscape degradation by wind turbines that can be seen from long distances away and may affect tourism in some areas where these types of structures exist. Visual pollution caused by garbage. A stunningly beautiful natural setting is marred by the ugly, unwelcome sight of garbage littering every inch. The peaceful scenery found anywhere on Earth and everywhere in between has been shattered due to one careless person's actions. Furthermore, the visual pollution caused by all this trash leaves you wondering if anyone else cares about nature or themselves at all anymore as they continue heedlessly polluting our planet with their filth while we helplessly witness it unfold before us, a heartbreaking tragedy. Causes of visual pollution. Visual pollution caused by lights. Visual pollution can cause a decrease in the number of stars visible at night. The glow from our light sources often reduces visibility across an entire region, rather than just one spot on Earth, causing harm to other critters and plants that need darkness for survival. Few things can be done to halt the visual pollution caused by lights. One of these methods is turning off all street lights for a day and seeing how much we miss them when they're gone. Energy-wasting light bulbs have been creating visual pollution for years. In addition, these lights emit excessive amounts of blue and ultraviolet light into the atmosphere, which can create a clarity issue in the sky that has led to an increased deterioration in air quality and threatening marine life by emitting so much heat near our oceans. Visual pollution caused by urban areas. Cities and urban areas are a huge source of pollution, visual or otherwise. You can see this in the amount of litter on city streets to the never-ending stringing together of those lights that line buildings all over town. Each emit bright colors, produce an intense light intensity that is tiring and disturbing for our eyesight and wildlife's natural habitats nearby, like animals' nocturnal habits being interrupted by nighttime lighting from streetlights. Every day we experience visual pollution caused by cities and urban areas through traffic jamming up intersections during rush hour, litter scattered everywhere you look, high-rises lining every block with their blinding neon signs lit 24 hours a day. These issues have become so commonplace now. Cities are a hotbed of visual pollution. The bright lights, ads, and signs often overwhelm the senses with unwanted messages that can distract from one's goals or even cause health-related problems such as eye strain. Visual pollution caused by rural areas. Visual pollution is a growing problem as more and more rural land becomes devoid of plant life. This lack of vegetation causes an increase in light scattering, which reduces the quality and clarity of night sky views for all who live near these areas. The worst offenders are those living within 20 miles from metropolitan centers where there has been a rise in development that eliminates natural space to create new sites for housing developments or shopping malls with large parking lots, among other things. In the suburbs, all of us are guilty of visual pollution. So we have to make sure that our lawns and yards stay tidy, or else they will be a nuisance to ourselves and those who look at them from afar. Causes of visual pollution are hard to understand, but we all need to work together to control these causes. Visual pollution caused by population. Some people think that visual pollution is a problem in our society. They say it's caused by population, but many others disagree and believe that the only way to fix this issue would be through addressing issues of access, such as education about how much water we use per day or where our trash goes. Visual pollution has become an increasingly pressing topic within today's society. Some may point out its cause can be traced back purely to high populations, while others might see another underlying factor not discussed often enough: accessibility. Issues like lack of public transportation options for low-income families come up repeatedly when discussing ways communities are disadvantaged under certain circumstances with little control over their lives. Ever see a billboard or an advertisement for something you don't want, and it just bugs the heck out of you? Well, now imagine that on every street corner in your neighborhood. We are faced with visual pollution caused by population growth as more people move into our area to work. Causes of visual pollution are important to know so that we can control them. Visual pollution caused by nature. The sky is a gorgeous vision of blues and grays, interrupted by the occasional puffy white cloud. But wait. Where did that bright yellow streak come from? Unfortunately, the long-lived line across your field of view doesn't make for pleasant viewing. It's essentially visual pollution caused by nature. The trees in the forest have a natural beauty about them that many people love to enjoy. They are tall and thin, with leaves of different colors on their branches. To some, they may seem like visual pollution because there is so much green everywhere. Still, even these types of eyes can find something beautiful here if they take enough time to appreciate it all for what it has: life-giving water running through its roots, animals living inside or around its trunk, insects crawling up and down onto tree bark looking for sap, food from which other plants will grow later as an after effect. In order to save our planet for future generations, we need to reduce the causes of visual pollution.